Hi, this is Yvonne Evers, founder and CEO of SUCCESSIONapp, and thanks for joining me for a demo of the management module of SUCCESSIONapp. This is the landing page that you see on your screen right now. When you are licensed to use SUCCESSIONapp, you are provided with a unique username and password. There's no downloadable software, anything like that. You just go to this URL up here. It's a web-based system. So you go to the URL, enter your username and password, and you get access to the software. I have clients who are using this for some of them just for their top position, their CEO, some for all of their executive positions, and then others for all management positions. I have one client who asked if it was possible to use it for 100 different positions within their organization, which absolutely it is. And I also recently was asked if it was possible to use the software for potential leaders. So let's say you're keeping track of who your high potentials are within your organization. You can also use that, and I'll show you that in a little bit. You can also use the software for that as well. Usually there is one person who's designated as the administrator of the software if you're using it for more than one position. And that person has the ability to create different titles that they want to use this software for, and then they will have the ability to assign people access to certain succession plans within the software. So there's a lot of security that's built into the software. So let me show you how it works. So first of all, I wanted to tell you, you enter a lot of the basic information here on the details page. And I also have created templates because you should have an emergency succession and a planned succession process for each of the positions that you're including in the plan. I have included templates in for each of these, and you can easily edit those to match kind of what you would like to do within your organization. If you already have like an emergency succession plan, you can just cut and paste right into the software. So the first thing you want to do when you are creating a succession plan, and we're gonna do a CEO position today, is you click on the competencies tab. And what I've done is I've included a number of new competencies from suggestions. So you can pick any of these competencies that you'd like to. I have the title and description of each of the competencies here. You can pick as many as you want because you can always delete them if you don't want them later. But they come up like this, and there's a title and a description, and then you choose whether it's a critical competency or desirable. Critical meaning it's definitely required for that position. Desirable is, it really would be nice if the person had that, but it isn't critical. You can, let's say you don't like the name ambassador of this competency, but you do like the description. You can easily just change the title of that competency, as well as I have a lot of clients who like many different competencies, and really you should only have maybe at most 10-ish, especially 10 critical. So they will kind of combine competencies together. So they might take the definitions of two competencies and combine those. So that's a possibility as well. If you go through my whole list of competency suggestions and there are other competencies you'd like to add, you can just click on New Competency here up in the corner. It will actually bring in new competency in alphabetical order here. You can just type in the title of your competency and then also your description, and then determine if it's critical or desirable. So after you've come up with your whole list of competencies for the position, you would go to the Candidates tab, and you can click on New and Potential Candidate to add new candidates to your plan. Here I've added 3 of them. I get a lot of questions from people about, well, what if I don't have any right now, any potential successors? Can I add just someone who might be an emergency successor? Absolutely. It would be good to have something in there, and just put emergency successor only. I'll show you that in the development plan area. Also, people will ask me, well, what if, especially for the CEO role, what if I know some people outside of the credit union as well who would be good replacements for me in my role? Should I add those to the succession plan? And I have had clients add outside people. Of course, you're not always able to evaluate them on each of the competencies, but you can definitely add them here. And in the development plan process, add the name of their credit union, and maybe in the contact section, add, how to contact them. So that is a possibility as well. And I have had people in smaller credit unions say, what about having a former CEO or a CEO from another organization be my emergency successor? You can definitely include them on this list as well. So you're including, but mainly this is for the development. This tool is used for development of your current potential successors within your organization. So you would add all of this basic information. Whether they're an emergency successor or not, it's just simply a toggle back and forth. And then as you scroll to the right, each of the competencies are listed on top. If you want to be reminded, you just click on it. This is the definition that you came up with. And then what you're doing is you're evaluating each of the potential successors on a scale of 0 to 10 on each of the competencies. The rating scale is here below. 0 is no skills, 5 is incomplete skills, and 10 is fully skilled. So after you've evaluated all of your potential successors, you can click on Succession Plan. And here you will get an overview look at their readiness. So you have their last names at the top. Here's the overall readiness score. And again, the score is from 0 to 10. They would get a green up here, and it's color-coded and numerically oriented. Color-coded so you can easily see what they have to work on, and the green are areas that they're pretty much fully skilled in. So in order to get a green up here, they would have to get over an 8.5 average on the critical competencies. So we also have the emergency successor listed at the bottom here. So we can see generally how they're doing. Then the next step in doing a succession plan is creating a development plan for each potential successor. So we click on Development Plan. And here you see the candidates that are listed on the left. You also see their areas needing improvement. These are the areas listed from the lowest score to the highest in the red and the yellow areas. And you would pick, sometimes 1 to 3 different areas for them to work on. If you have, if this is a plan for someone who is not planning to leave in the near future, then maybe the potential successors are only working on 1 or 2 competencies at a time. If it's for a person who is leaving maybe in 2 years, and there hasn't been a lot of succession development done in the past, you might want them to work on 3 things over the next 2 years at a time. So the number of areas you work on, I wouldn't generally go past 3, and it really does depend on how long of a runway they have to develop. But this is the development plan. So you picked, for example, for Mary Johnson, we picked vision and strategy, confidence and decisiveness. Right here, we have added things that she should work on in terms of confidence. Here, work on my confidence level and how I come across to the board colleagues, and a couple of things that she can do in that area. Also, in terms of decisiveness, maybe work with an executive coach over the next year to focus on increasing my level of confidence and decisiveness. So these are things that the person, like for example, for the CEO could help the person come up with. Also, Mary could be asked, okay, these are the areas you really need to work on in order to develop for the CEO role. What do you think are some of the activities that you would like to participate in? So then after you've come up with the development plan, there's one last thing that you would do is clients have asked for this in particular, and it is a contacts page. So people have had, like I have a client right now whose CFO just left suddenly. And it would have been really nice for her to have a CFO succession plan that had all of the contacts that that person has contact with on a regular basis, so that the CEO could have, or someone else on her team could have easily gone in and said, okay, we have to quickly notify all of these people or all of these organizations. This person is no longer in this role. This is the person who will be in the role on a temporary basis. We also have the ability to put live email addresses in the software so that you can easily just click on the name, a live email comes up, you can just quickly type in that message, send it out. The other thing that I've added as well, and this is especially true for the CEO role, so that the boards would have a list of potential search firms and contact information in case the CEO is gone suddenly. But also for HR people, for positions that are difficult to fill. If you find out that there's a search firm that was successful in helping you fill some hard to fill positions, you can keep track of that search firm and your contact information for that person right here, and easily go back in the succession plan to find that. And then the last part I wanted to show you is we have a very robust reports feature in the software. First of all, you can get a full report, and all the information is gathered together and put into PDF format. And this is a full report. A lot of the basic information up front. Here's your emergency succession process, your planned succession process. Here are the competencies listed and the definitions. Then here are your potential successors, how they were rated on each of the competencies. Here's your overall readiness table, and then the development plans for each potential successor, and then your contact information. What I also did is I've created a board summary report. So, a lot of times your board doesn't need to see how you rated each of your potential successors. They don't need to be questioning why somebody rated something, especially for the CEO role. Why was a potential successor rated a certain way? So there's a board summary report, and also for examiners or auditors who might want to look at your report, they don't need to see all that detail either. So it's a summary report that just gives them all the basic information, gives them the list of competencies, but then also what it does is just says these are the potential successors. It lists their names and their position titles. And then there's a potential successor report, and it's customized for each potential successor. So let's say we look at Mike Jones here. So Mike's report would have all the basic information up front. Here's your emergency and planned succession. He would know what the competencies for the CEO role are. He would also know what his ratings are and what his development plan is. So those are customized for each person. And then lastly, if you use this for a number of positions like most of my clients are doing, there's an executive summary report. And the executive summary report will show all of the positions that you have in your software. It'll list them out, and then it will list everybody's potential successors. So you can easily look at that report and say, okay, we have potential successors for these positions, but we see that maybe there's only one or maybe even none, no potential successors for some of the other positions. So it's nice to have that executive summary report so you can just quickly see where you might have some lack of bench strength. So that is the demo of the management succession software. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at Yvonne@SUCCESSIONapp.com. Yvonne, YVONNE @SUCCESSIONapp.com. You can also always go to our website as well, SUCCESSIONapp.com. Thanks for attending the demo today, and I hope to hear from you soon.